Well, hello, dear friends. As I greet you today, I want you to keep in mind in my little message Psalm 89, verses 33 to 34, where the Lord says, I will not be false to my faithfulness, nor alter the word that has gone out from my lips. I want you to hold in mind the faithfulness of God. And I want you to do so as I speak on what I'm calling a faith for the in-between times. You say, well, what's that? Well, it's a faith for the time or the times between when a promise is given or a vision or guidance is given or a prayer offered up to the Lord, and then the actual fulfillment of that vision, call, or prayer. Between the prayer and the answer, there's a time in between. Between the vision and the answer, there's a time in between. And we need faith for the times in between. Maybe I can just give you a few little examples to think about. Maybe you get a vision of what's going to happen in your business, and then it just simply doesn't happen. Or maybe you get a vision or a sense of calling to be a maths teacher in a high school, and the door never opens up. Or perhaps you have a strong sense that the Lord is going to bring you a marriage partner, and then nothing seems to develop. And you really wonder, actually, what's going on. Or perhaps you pray for the salvation of a son or a daughter, and it doesn't seem to happen. Or you have a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter in a faraway country. Seems like never likely that they'll come to the Lord. But I'm saying that you need a faith for the in-between times. Between when the prayer is given, the vision or the guidance or the promise, and the time of its fulfillment or its answer. Let me give you a couple of illustrations from the Old Testament. Take Joseph. Joseph has this very strange dream of a place of power and people bowing down to him, and including his brothers, which didn't, as a PR notion, it didn't go down too well with them. But it was the dream God gave him. So now what happens? He loses favor with his brothers. He's taken out. He's thrown into a pit in Dothan. And pit, by the way, is spelt person in training. That's what it's for. The pit. Maybe you're in a pit right now. You're a person in training. And then he's taken away captive to Egypt. And by extraordinary circumstances, he lands up in Pharaoh's household. And then the next minute, he has a false accusation from Pharaoh's wife that he was getting fresh with her. And now he's in prison. And he's in a terrible situation, in a terrible state. And then he interprets the dreams of the butlers and finally of other prisoners, and he's finally called into Pharaoh's household. And he ends up being Prime Minister of Egypt, as you know. But imagine Joseph's feelings between the time of the dream and everything that was happening in between. He couldn't have thought it more unlikely or a more extraordinary phenomenon for God to do anything with him or fulfill that dream. But I believe he had a faith for the in-between times. The times when finally he's so powerful and his brothers and family bow down before him. Or else you take David. And you'll remember how Samuel picks him out from the large group of brothers and anoints him to be king. But that actually happens in the 16th chapter of 1 Samuel. And the whole book of the rest of 1 Samuel is about all the awful things, in a way, that happened to David, including losing favor with Saul, being hunted around the caves of the mountains of En-Gedi, and Saul wanting to kill him. A faith for the in-between times, between when he was anointed to be king, and then many years later, and many chapters later, in 2 Samuel 5, he becomes king. He needed a faith for the in-between times. And beloved, if you've got some unanswered prayer, some unfulfilled vision, some promise that seems never to have fulfillment, I want you to have a faith for the in-between times, between when the Lord gave that word or you made that prayer and then his fulfillment of it. And that's why I wanted you to hold that verse in your mind from Psalm 89, 33 to 34, where the Lord says, I will not alter or be false to my faithfulness, or alter the thing that has gone out from my lips. Trust, dear one. Trust in these in-between times and the faithfulness of God. He won't let you down. God bless you.